What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfire's. Enormous thank you to Disney and Marvel Studios for the opportunity to sit down yesterday with both the director Brian Andrews and head writer AC Bradley on the upcoming Marvel What If animated series on Disney+. They allowed me to sit down with them. They took some time out of their very busy day following yesterday's digital press junket to sit down with me and answer some questions. I'm going to play the interview for you in full here. Of course, we had to stay a bit spoiler free, but I did ask some very pointed questions I thought you guys would want to ask given the opportunity to conduct this interview, some stuff you may find very interesting. Remember to hit that subscribe button and like button down below if you enjoyed today's video, and let's jump right into my interview yesterday, again with Brian Andrews, the director, and AC Bradley, the head writer on the upcoming What If series. Brian, you've been at Marvel for a while. AC, this is your first time at Marvel, correct me if I'm wrong. Congratulations to both of you. First time directing for Brian and first time at Marvel for AC. Talk a little bit about your first time experiences and what you're doing over there.
I'll let Brian go first.
First time at doing What If or first time Marvel?
First time directing, correct?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, that's a lot of fun. I mean, you know, storyboarding in a way is directing, editing, and writing all at the same time. I mean, we've done plenty of that in the movies, helping a slew of directors get their vision on the screen, and also with the animated stuff that I've done before, but having to be able to have Marvel behind you and have such an incredible group of people, you know, Brad, AC, you know, and our art team, Ryan Meinerding, Paul saying, just everybody behind, you know, like, let's all hold hands and let's make something really cool that people are going to really love. Like, isn't this fun? Fantastic. And the fact that, you know, the triumvirate, the trio, Kevin, Lou, and Victoria, the fact that they treat this no differently than the way they treat the movies. It's not like, oh, here's animation, the little side thing that's like meh, and you know, they don't go easy on anybody. It's like, you know, the same laser awesomeness they give to the movies to make those rad, they gave to us and What If, and that was a fantastic experience. They're so talented. It's great.
You can tell when you watch it. I can honestly say that. How about you, AC? First time at Marvel?
It was my first Marvel project, but it was not my first time at Marvel. I've been circling that building for a few years.
Excellent.
Nate Moore brought me in originally to pitch in a project. I pitched in a project with Jonathan Schwartz. Let's be honest, I'm a girl from the Bronx. Writing movies and TV shows is not something I ever thought I was going to be able to do. So being able to write for these heroes, it's been an honor and a dream. I love telling the story of the underdog. I love telling the story of the person that's not supposed to be the hero. I'm not supposed to be a Marvel screenwriter, and here I am. So give me Peggy Carter, give me a woman who's not supposed to be throwing that shield around, and I will write the living heck out of her.
I love that. That's amazing. And so on that note, speak a little bit how it may be different to write for animation instead of live action, as this is the first animated series for the MCU. Actually,
there is very little difference in writing for live action and animation. There's some budgetary concerns, but there isn't. The main thing is that usually in animation, you overwrite the lines a little bit because you're only going to really have the actors in once. But these actors, these MCU veterans, they can give you the entire story in 4 words. So it was actually an honor to work with the likes of Sebastian Stan and Karen Gillan, and sorry, I'm blanking now on names. Chris Hemsworth, who came in and is an absolute gem of a human being. That was the biggest honor and fun. I didn't actually have to change my writing style between animation and live action here.
That's awesome.
That's true.
Awesome. Okay, so you definitely tell me, I crafted these questions to like make sure they were completely spoiler free, and then I listened to the press junket and people came out right out the gate asking about live action, all this stuff. So tell me if I go too far and you can't answer this. The question is that I could definitely tell that the story is character driven. We're seeing some variants of characters we already know in the MCU. Is there an opportunity possibly in the series to be introduced to brand new characters other than the Watcher, who is another brand new character? Any others maybe we should look out for? Anything new and exciting coming that way as far as additions instead of variants we've already seen?
Interesting.
That's a hard one to answer. I mean,
it is.
Because animation is a medium of patience. We started working on this in 2018.
Wow.
So the movies and the TV shows were still being made in development. So a few times it was, oh, they're pivoting in this movie, so you can't now do X, Y, or Z. And so the fun for us wasn't so much going back through the comic books, but going through the movies and being like, can we play with Howard the Duck? Are we allowed to be Howard the Duck? I would love to meet Seth Green.
Yeah.
And Marvel was very encouraging and lovely, and Kevin let us kind of have a ball.
Yeah. I think one of the early on rules, there are only a few rules, and one of them was we couldn't introduce certain characters that hadn't already been introduced in some way or fashion in the cinematic universe already. So we weren't just going to just start reaching into the Marvel grab bag of all these comics and grab random people and be like, look, it's this way over here that you've no context for. They're very clear about that. And that was a great guiding rule and helped, because otherwise it's like, candy store. So this way it kept it, okay, right. Okay, keep it here first and we can expand out possibly later, hopefully. So we'll see.
Amazing. Last question. How early in the decision-making process did you guys decide not to be beholden to the voice actors' counterparts and say, hey, if they can't do it, we're okay going in a different direction to keep the stories open to what you wanted to do?
Well, we always wanted to get everyone we could, but people are busy and people are doing amazing things, and sometimes we can't corral them into the thing because they've got other stuff. And so we knew that might happen. We were so thankful that we got as many as we did, that they were excited about it and wanted to be part of it, and somehow their schedules kind of like opened up. But we knew, hey, it's going to happen. There might be some, and that's cool. We'll just roll with it as best we can. So we'd bring in someone else to not necessarily do an impression, but try to act, their way through it. Try to at least embody the spirit of that individual. So we can get a performance that actually feels correct to what we think of it, because you're not going to match the exact voice exactly, right? So there has to be other strengths there to help the story move forward, so you don't bump too much.
We were very lucky when it came to casting that early on we had a couple of ambassadors for the show. I think Sebastian Stan and Jon Favreau were two of the earliest actors to record. Yep. And luckily they had such a good experience that they spread the word that this is fun.
That's awesome.
No makeup and costume changes. Show up, play around, goof off, and we promise your characters are in very good hands.
Very good hands.
Yeah, compared to hours of makeup, that's got to be a very attractive proposition. Guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to answer these questions. I really appreciate it. Show is amazing. Really looking forward to the rest of the series.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much. And congrats on that office, dude.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. Y'all take care.
Later.
So there you have it, guys. That was my very first official interview with anybody over at Marvel. Huge thank you to Disney and Marvel Studios, but also specifically and personally to Brian and AC. They were an absolute breeze to interview. I know sometimes it can be daunting for either side of the camera. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to sit down with me. I sincerely appreciate it. Guys, if you enjoyed this interview, you want to see more stuff like this, remember to hit the like button. Leave any comments you have down below in the description. And as always, the best way to keep up with the content here at the channel is to hit that subscribe button. I'd love you forever. Thanks so much, guys, for checking it out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.